Monday, 2nd of October. The beginning of the journey wasn't a great one. I spent 8 hours on the National Express travelling from Newcastle to London, hungover and stopping at all the finest places in England. The next day I travelled from Heathrow. The airport was a mess and I was tired, but I got 2 spare seats next to me. And yeah, as you can see, I was pretty excited about that. I had some food, got some rest, and 8 hours later I was in Qatar.
Well, the look of the cake, it ain't always the taste.
Tuesday disappeared into 2 flights, disrupted sleep, and 8 hours time difference. At this point I didn't know where I was or the time, but I boarded the flight to Jakarta. The flight went smooth and I landed in Jakarta at about 9 PM. I instantly became a millionaire for about 60 quid, got my visa, and then headed off into the city to my hostel. But okay, let me provide some context to this trip. So back in September 2019, when I was travelling in Indonesia for the first time, we took a private tour to Tumpak Suwu waterfall just outside Malang, and it was Zikri and his brother Zain who showed up to take us here. Zikri wanted to practice his English, so we stayed in contact and had calls quite frequently. Over time we started to become really good friends, and he asked me to come back and visit him and his family in his village just outside of Malang. And so, I promised him I would. Okay, let's return to the story. This night I met a few people from the hostel, had a few beers and went out in the street for some food. I went to bed at about 2 AM but I couldn't sleep. This night I felt so anxious. So, I was anxious because I was in Jakarta, a huge, chaotic capital city by myself, about to travel halfway across Java to go and stay with my friend who I've only met once, and his family, in a village where no tourists go, nobody speaks English. I had no idea what to expect. The next day, I went out with this Indonesian guy from the hostel called Farj. He got me to drive around on his scooter, I'm not sure why. He kept calling me his Gojek driver.
And a wicked way, and I'm praying for her beautiful face every day. All that work over so much time. If I think too hard, I might lose my mind. Oh, my next girl.
Down at the harbour we got a fisherman to take us out on his boat. It was cool but pretty dirty and chaotic. But that's just Jakarta. The kids jumped off the boat just to ask me for money. When I didn't give them any, they called me Boule Kerry. Cheeky little bastards.